And we're back. So, this is the fluff portion. So, what we were talking about tonight, we just finished chat number 1. I forgot to tell y'all even what number it was. I don't know. Chat 110 maybe. 110 maybe. And it was eating out, yes. But now we are going to talk about some more in-depth things on eating out, and we're going to play a little game. And there are not prizes for this, except for the fact that everyone wins, because everyone should have a decent idea of how, how to check out some things, before you go out to eat. The first thing I will say is that you can go back and watch the last time. This is chat number 110. Thank you. I know, I lose track. You can go back and watch chat number 58. Chat number 58 was called Enjoy Eating Out, and it had a whole lot of shocking things, and thank you everybody. Thank you everyone for telling us what chat it is, since I didn't remember. But chat number 58, Enjoy Eating Out, had a bunch of shocking things on it. Like, it was some things that you just wouldn't even, like, I was shocked at how many points they were when you go to eat out. So again, hashtag know before you go. There is never, ever a reason to not know, even if it's just before you get out of the car. If you didn't know that you were going out to eat, like if it was a total surprise, if you thought you were eating at home, then all of a sudden everybody said, let's go get something to eat. You should still have already checked before you get out of the car. Check as far in advance if you can, and please, if you can, pre-track it. Hashtag know before you go, because chat number 58, if you go back and watch it, you're going to be shocked at some of these numbers. I mean, like, shocked at some of the point values for, for a few of the things. So I want to tell you a couple of things real quick, a couple of things that you should know about any restaurant before you go. More so sit-down restaurants than fast food. But one of the things is dressing on the side. So I hear people all the time say, I'm just going to get a salad. I'm just going to get a little salad. And I'm just going to get the dressing on the side. Okay, so Gwen told us a horrifying story this last Tuesday that I couldn't believe, but I could believe. So she was talking about a group of people going out to a restaurant, and they had to sit at different tables, and they had different waiting staff for them. So a lady at one table said, "Hey, do you all have?" Because they were bringing everybody a salad, and I gather it was one of those things where everybody's getting the same thing, to eat. So maybe it was like a convention or a conference or something. And one person asked if they had any fat-free dressing. And yes, Lynn, exactly. Hashtag know before you go. Asked if they had fat-free dressing, and her waitress said yes, but then she brought her a cup that looked just like everybody else's. A lady at another table asked her waitress, "Hey, do you have any fat-free dressing?" And she said, "No, we only have, one kind of dressing." So was waitress number 1 lying? Or was waitress number 2 just too lazy to go get the fat-free dressing? I don't know. But something I do want y'all to know, though, even if you get the dressing on the side, and even if you're doing the thing, where you dip the fork in and put it on there, but if you get the dressing on the side, everybody's thinking, oh, it's like a tablespoon. If I dip my fork in it, I'm only using, like a tablespoon of dressing, because I'm using half of it. I'm using half. I think this is half. Wherever my ASL people are, I think that's, like 1/2, so half. But this is not the size cup that they bring it in. This little teeny tiny cup, that's 2 tablespoons. So if they bring you your dressing on the side, most of the time, and I didn't have a plastic one, most of the time it's in a little cup that's this size. That's 4 tablespoons. So even if you do the dipping your fork thing in it and only eat half of it, that is 2 tablespoons of dressing, not 1 tablespoon of dressing. And if it's dressing, even, and you think you're doing a good thing by dipping your fork in it, but 2 tablespoons of dressing, I mean, that could be as much as 10, 11, 12 points. So they're not bringing you this. Just keep that in mind. They're bringing you this. So just hashtag know before you go. Yeah, even if you only use half of it, it could be 2 tablespoons and not 1 tablespoon. The next thing is bread baskets. A lot of restaurants will bring you a bread basket. Did you know that you can decline it. You don't have to accept the bread basket. So your server is not going to lose their job if you decline the bread basket. Most of the places, that's just to keep you entertained until your food comes. Maybe it takes them a little bit longer, or it's some specialty, something that they know, people are going to come in and they're going to eat, a bunch of bread. So you can decline it. Or at most restaurants, I have not found one yet or heard of one yet that will not do this, but at most restaurants, you can ask for, like, if you did want the bread, because if we go to Red Lobster, I want a cheddar biscuit. I'm not going to go to Red Lobster unless I have enough points to eat a cheddar biscuit. There's no point, because I will torture myself, so I save up for it. But you can ask them to only bring one piece of bread per person. So if you had 3, if it's a place that normally puts 4 or 5, yeah, Lynn says stay away from the free foods that are served. If it's one of the places that normally brings 4 or 5 pieces of bread in a basket, and there's only 2 of you or 3 of you, you can tell them, oh no, we only want 1 piece per person. So yeah, and JG said, what if the rest of the group wants bread? So I usually just sit away from the people that I know are going to want bread and send it down to their end, or again, only ask for as many pieces of bread as you're going to eat. So there are certain places I am going to eat the piece of bread. I'm going to, but so we only order enough for each person to have 1, and then we don't let them refill the bread basket. Okay, so that's one thing, and this isn't even the good stuff, so I got to talk real fast. Okay, the next thing is takeout containers. Get one. So if you're going somewhere that you already know that they serve a whole lot of food, even if you've made a great choice, you can, if it's a lot of food, you can, when you order or when they bring your meal, ask them to go ahead and bring you a takeout container. My mom used to do that all the time, and it's not because she was, being conscious of her weight. She was just, she's just this big. She's tiny. If she's stretched really, really tall, she still would not even be 5 feet tall. And she's this big, so she would always, when they would get ready to bring the food out, she would say, oh, can you go ahead and bring me a to-go container? And she would cut all of her food in half. She would put half of it in the to-go container and go ahead, and close it up and just push it over to the side. She didn't make a big deal about it. Everybody didn't go, oh my gosh, Doris is getting a to-go container. She just went ahead and got her to-go container, cut it. It was still pretty. And Betty does that. But when she cut everything in half, it was just like it should be. She didn't end up with, a bite of mashed potatoes because she ate all the rest of them, or some rice, or whatever. But it was pretty. She put it in, put it in the box, pushed it to the side, and it still always filled up the plate. So to-go containers, if they have them, they can bring you one. You do not have to wait until the end of your meal to get a to-go container. Drink sizes. Okay, I need y'all to look at this. So I was gonna try and stop somewhere and grab some actual cups, and we decided to go see Alyssa today instead. So sorry, I didn't get actual drink cups, but this is a 12-ounce cup. This is a 24-ounce cup, and this is a 32-ounce cup. So be aware of your cup sizes. So we have, I don't know, cup sizes just made me think of something else. Anyway, I'm not gonna go there. So just be aware of that, so that if you're ordering a drink, a caloric drink, or something that has, or maybe an alcoholic drink, I'm not gonna get that size, but something that would have some calories or have some points to it, just keep in mind what you might think is, you might think, oh, this is a small Coke, and no, that's a 24-ounce Coke. So that is not a small. As a matter of fact, this, if you look on McDonald's website, a 12-ounce cup, this is considered an extra small. So if you look on McDonald's website, an extra small sweet tea is 4 points. This one is considered, I think, a medium, and it was like 7 or 8 points. This one was considered a large, and it was 9 points. So this is an extra small, yeah. 12 ounces was an extra small. So just keep that in mind as you're looking at things. If they don't say how many ounces they are, this is not a regular size drink at all. Okay, and the last thing is, has everybody heard, or have you ever heard of a butter mop? So a lot of restaurants, and we do have a lot to talk about here in a second, so I'm gonna talk real fast. But a butter mop mean, you know, even if you've asked for your broccoli to be prepared without butter, and you've asked for your rice to be, maybe you went ahead and got rice that night, and you got a lovely piece of salmon, and you got some steamed broccoli with no butter. You know, you asked your salmon to be prepared with no butter and your broccoli to be prepared with no butter, and you splurged and got some rice with it because you've been saving points and you were doing so good, you know, with your salmon and with your broccoli. There are restaurants that right before they bring it to your table, and I don't have one, or I'd show you what it looks like, but it's a stick with a mop on the end with like cotton threads or little things, you know, sticking off the end, and it looks like a mop, and it's sitting in a vat of melted butter, and they take it and they mop the food with it before they bring it out. So even if they have perfectly grilled your salmon, perfectly steamed your broccoli, and made plain rice to go with it, you know, maybe even some brown rice to go with it, and it was all prepared without butter, you need to ask your waitress, you need to ask your waitress, do you all use a butter mop? Because even if they prepared it, and Tedder's, that's exactly what I was thinking. But anyway, so even if you've got everything prepared without it, a lot of them do not think like this. So they're not, you know, because usually, you know, it's little tiny, you know, college girls or whatever. They're not thinking that way. They're turning it in not to be prepared with that, but they put that on there to make it pretty and shiny. And Debbie says Chili's puts oil on their broccoli, and that's why it's so shiny. You have to ask. And I do not, so I just need you to say the words. Do you all use a butter mop? And just tell them, you know, I have some dietary restrictions. I can't have dairy. So if you don't make a big deal about it, don't say, I'm on a diet and I can't have the butter, you know, me, poor pitiful me. Don't do that. No, Loretta, do not be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Seriously, all you have to say, so many people have dietary restrictions now, and some people's dietary restrictions are so extreme that they actually have, like at Panera, if you say, I have a peanut allergy, or I have a, there's been a few, Casey used to work there, and there's been a few things, I can't remember what the other big thing was, but peanuts for sure, but they actually have people that eat there that have such, I mean, like extreme food allergies, that they have special people working there who are, only those people are allowed to prepare these special meals, and they don't make a big deal out of it. You just walk up and you say, hey, I have a peanut allergy. Or you can say, hey, I have a, you know, I can't have butter. You know, I have a dietary restriction. You know, I can't have butter. Can you make sure they don't use the butter mop or whatever? If they're not willing to accommodate you, I mean, they should have, like Barbara tells people, I'm on a low sodium diet. I'm on a very low, salt diet. People are so open now about those. And again, so here's how you say it. You go, hey, I've got a dietary restriction. I can't have any butter. Can you make sure they don't use the butter mop on there? I'm going to be sick. I mean, you know, like, I can't have it. Thank you. That would be so awesome. And Carol, it's exactly like saying that you need to be gluten-free. But if you ask them politely and nicely and upfront, then there is no reason, unless they just did not understand, you know, and a lot of places will change their gloves, and I just saw a couple of comments go by, you know, about that. Mary's lactose intolerant. There's nothing wrong with saying you don't have to say I'm on a diet. If the person comes up and you say, I'm on a diet, I can't have it, me, then you're probably going to get some, you know, some backlash, not backlash, but, you know, some resistance. But if you just be sweet, ask politely, and then thank them, you know, I think as long as they understand what you need, I think they're going to try. Okay, so those are the things I wanted you to know. Now, then, we're going to have a little contest. So we have 9 minutes to have our contest. So y'all are going to have to talk fast, okay? Okay, so I'm going to test you. I'm going to test y'all here. Let me move a couple of these things out of the way. So I'm going to give you all a little test here and see what you know. Because remember, hashtag know before you go. So hopefully you can see this. So I want to know which of these is a better choice. If you're going out to eat, if you're just going to pop by McDonald's, are you going to get an egg white delight muffin and black coffee, or a McDonald's egg McMuffin and a black coffee? Which one of those is a better deal points-wise? And we don't have a whole lot of time yet, so y'all got to answer super fast. So are you going to get a McDonald's egg white delight McMuffin and a black coffee, or a McDonald's egg McMuffin and a black coffee? Hurry, hurry, hurry. Answer, answer, answer. Okay, Jennifer says White Delight. Stacy says Egg White Delight. McMuffin and black coffee. Chrissy says McMuffin and black coffee. Barbara says A. Okay, so I'm going to show you. A McDonald's Egg White Delight and a black coffee is 8 smart points. A McDonald's Egg McMuffin, which is the regular Egg McMuffin and black coffee, is 7 smart points. 7. Yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that a regular Egg McMuffin is less smart points than the Egg White Delight? Who knew that? I've been ordering the Egg White Delight thinking that I was saving points, and you know, hashtag know before you go. I looked it up the other day and went, ah, I did not know that. Okay, the next one. So we're going to Cracker Barrel next. At Cracker Barrel, which one is less smart points? And if y'all can see through this, don't cheat. A Cracker Barrel sirloin steak, green beans, a biscuit, or the Cracker Barrel grilled chicken salad, no dressing, and then add ranch dressing and a water. So this one should say water as well, but I've accidentally covered it up. Hold on. Let me move that down a little bit. Okay. So, sirloin steak, green beans, a biscuit, and water, or a chicken salad, the grilled chicken salad with ranch dressing and water. Which one? Which one has less points? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of sirloin steaks. So y'all must think that these are trick questions. Okay, the sirloin steak, green beans, and a biscuit is 12 smart points. The grilled chicken salad with the ranch dressing, 21 smart points. 21. Yeah. And even if you used half the dressing, so if you used half the dressing they brought you, that would still be 18 smart points. The steak is this many, 12. The steak, the green beans, and the biscuit, 12. So even if you'd used half the dressing, yeah, Barbara, even if you got the dressing on the side, the ranch on the side, and only used half of it, that would still be almost 4 points, so that would still be 18. Yeah, so no, the grilled chicken salad is not the better deal if you put any dressing on it. Surprising? Are y'all surprised? Okay, this next one is just drinks. So the next one is a McDonald's small caramel frappe, which is this, 12 ounces. 12 ounces, okay? Or a McDonald's large, a 30-ounce sweet tea. So this is a 30-ounce sweet tea. Okay, so I'm gonna hold these up together. So the choices are a small caramel frappe, so it's this big, or a large sweet tea. Which one of these? Which one of these is the better deal for your money? For your smart point money. Remember, know before you go. So you've got a 12-ounce caramel frappe or a large sweet tea. Okay? The 12-ounce caramel frappe, 22 smart points. The large sweet tea is 9. The frappe is 22 smart points. 22. Look how tiny this glass is. Look, this glass gets swallowed in there. Yeah, the frappe is 22 smart points for this little tiny glass. Or you can have this huge sweet tea for 9. I'm not saying I want to spend 9 smart points on a giant sweet tea, but that's crazy. That is crazy. Because you would think that little tiny frappe, you know, would be the better choice. Okay, the next one, we are headed to Starbucks for the next one. Okay, was anybody surprised about the tea and the frappe? Anybody? Anybody surprised? Okay, so, yeah, Mary was surprised. Okay, this one, we are headed to Starbucks. And Starbucks has Remember, hashtag know before you go. Just know before you go. So who knows what is in? Yeah, and Jackie's exactly right. Stay away from both of them. Okay, so Starbucks has a lot of food now. They have a lot of extra food now. So a Starbucks chocolate croissant with a Starbucks grande iced cafe latte with almond milk, or a Starbucks egg and cheese protein box and a Starbucks venti iced skinny mocha with non-fat milk. Okay, so which one? Are we doing the chocolate croissant with the grande iced cafe latte and almond milk? Or are we gonna do the egg and cheese protein box with a venti iced skinny mocha with non-fat milk? Okay, I'm seeing egg and cheese. I see croissant. Barbara says A, which I don't know which one's A because I'm backwards. Croissant, protein box. Okay, croissant. Well, that one's, because y'all are 50-50 on this one. Protein box, you're 50-50. Okay, so the Starbucks egg and cheese protein box, 14 smart points. That's the protein box with the iced skinny mocha with non-fat milk, and the chocolate croissant and the grande iced cafe latte with almond milk is 13. Hold on. Yeah, 13. Sorry, it's backwards to me. So 13. So I'm not saying you need to eat a chocolate croissant. I'm just saying if you're out with some friends and you stop at Starbucks, that, you know, if you had 13 points to spend, how much, you know, I don't know, how much more special would you feel not getting the protein box, unless you just wanted the protein box, but saying, oh, I'm getting a chocolate croissant and a grande iced cafe latte with almond milk. Yeah, so, and the chocolate croissant, Betty's exactly right, and those chocolate croissants are good. They are good, yeah. And hey, Melissa just got home. She'll have to watch it later. You will have to watch it later, Melissa. Okay, so, yeah, and Debbie wants to know which one is more filling. Well, if we're talking tummy filling, probably the egg and whatever protein box. But if we're talking emotionally filling, you know, I just want to know, I want to hashtag know before I go, that if I'm feeling a chocolate croissant, that it's not necessarily a bad choice. Now, that's still a lot of points. 13 points is a lot of points, but, you know, if you got it. Okay, and the last one is, I think is the last one. Hold on. Yes, Olive Garden. Okay, I tried to pick a restaurant that most parts of the country would have. So, an Olive Garden grilled chicken flatbread with a mixed berry sparkling water, or an Olive Garden famous house salad with their signature dressing. So that's the regular dressing. That's not light dressing or anything else. It's Olive Garden famous house salad with signature dressing, 1 serving of that. Olive Garden pasta e fagioli soup, 1 serving of that, and Olive Garden Bacardi and Coke. So I had to pick something because people ask all the time, you know, they're like, you never, for those of us who drink, you never tell us anything. So I'm putting something on here for people who drink. So let's say that you are at brunch, you know, with some other girls, and you know, and so you want to have a little bit of a splurge. So if you go to Olive Garden, first of all, if you're going to do this one, I need you to tell me that you've got a designated driver, even if you just have one. But anyway, so Olive Garden grilled chicken flatbread with a mixed berry sparkling water, or the Olive Garden famous house salad with signature dressing. That's 1 serving of that. Olive Garden pasta e fagioli soup, which is delicious in case y'all haven't had it. 1 serving of that with an Olive Garden Bacardi and Coke. So which one? It looks like the flatbread is going to win. Okay, so the Olive Garden famous house salad, the soup, and the Bacardi and Coke, that is 10 smart points. That's 1 serving, and 1 Bacardi and Coke is 10 smart points. The grilled chicken flatbread is, dun dun dun, 25 smart points. You could have 2.5 of these. You could have 2.5 servings of the salad, 2.5 servings of the soup, and 2.5 Bacardi and Cokes. Yeah, for the same number of smart points. Same number. Is that not insane? This is hashtag know before you go, like, to the max. So think about it too. If you mixed, like if you did these two and then had the sparkling water. So the sparkling water was only 2. So that would be, so if you did these 2 and the sparkling water, that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 8 smart points if you did that. Sheila, it's little. It's the Bacardi and Coke is a little. But anyway, the main point of that was that food is insane. Yes, and that soup is low in points. Kim is exactly right. Their minestrone soup is even less. Oh yeah, and my Christy, you could have added a breadstick to that. Yeah, so is that not crazy? So who is going to hashtag no before you go now? Is that not insane? And I didn't even pick the lightest thing on the menu. So just know, some places are using a butter mop. Be polite. Let them know what you need. They cannot, let's see. Jennifer wants to ask a question of the group while on here. She couldn't find it on the app, and I cannot see the question yet. I will see it after we get off of here. But anyway, so again, hashtag no before you go. Check it out. Look before you leap. I mean, a grilled chicken flatbread. I heard the words grilled and chicken, and I thought, yep, there we go. Nuh-uh. One of my favorite things at Chili's, we were talking about Chili's a few minutes ago. One of my favorite things at Chili's, I ate it every single week. We used to go to Chili's every single week for lunch. And I ate the exact same salad every single week, thinking that I was doing a great and wonderful thing. Once we had the apps and we could look it up, 38 points. The salad that I was eating was 38 points. And I ate it once a week, every single week for probably, I don't know, 3 years. So what was that? I was using up all of my extra points, everything, every week for 3 years. Yeah, no wonder I didn't lose any weight that year, or those 3 years. But anyway, okay, so hashtag no before you go. Check your app. You saw during the first half of tonight's chat that you could you can look it up a couple of different ways. And yes, Debbie, unsweet tea is 0 smart points. I was just trying to do, make a dramatic, you can, continue to just, bring those points down. So don't be fooled. Ask about butter mops. Do not be embarrassed. It's okay. You can ask questions. There are so many people asking food prep questions now that it is okay to ask them. Don't be grumpy about it. Don't look like a sourpuss. Don't, I can't have anything. Everybody else gets to eat. I'll have a chocolate croissant at Starbucks. So I can have whatever I want. I just have to plan for it. So I'm going to go ahead and start telling you all good night because John is waiting on his beef stew and I am too. And it is 9:04 and we haven't eaten yet. Hey, Dusty. Dusty, do you want to come say good night? Dusty, come here. Hurry, buddy. Oh, he was napping hard. He was napping really hard. Come here, buddy. Okay, so everybody, don't forget to do your homework. Oh, goodness. Casey and I worked out hard at Planet Fitness yesterday. Hard, and I'm having trouble squatting. But anyway, everybody have an awesome week. I want to hear about what you found, looking up the restaurant things on the app. I want to hear if there's any surprises. But anyway, so y'all hashtag no before you go. And thank you, Nancy. And y'all have an awesome week. Have an awesome week, and we will see you next week. Good night.